The Appointment in Samarra. This story is retold by William Somerset. In this story, the speaker is the death itself. Now, coming to the theme of the story, the theme of the story is that anyone can't escape from death. So, in this story, main character is a servant. The servant is in a thought that he will escape from death, but he doesn't know death had an appointment with him in Samarra. Moving to the characters of the story, we have three characters in the story: the merchant, the servant, and a woman. The woman here is the death itself. Now, the plot of the story, The Appointment in Samarra, is a short story about a merchant servant who tries to avoid his meeting or his appointment with death. In the story, the servant meets the death at Baghdad. Then he lends a horse from the merchant and flees to Samarra, and the story describes the once there was a merchant at the famous market of Baghdad. He went to the market to buy the provisions for his master. One day he saw a stranger looking at him in surprise, and he came to know that the stranger was the death itself. Horrified, the servant fled to his master and asked him to lend a little horse so that he can travel to Samarra from Baghdad. For there he was sure that death could not find him there. But when at last he came to Samarra, the death was waiting him. The death has already got an appointment for the servant in the Samarra. So this is what our story says, that no one in this world can escape from death itself. Death is having an appointment with each and every person who is taking a birth in this world. Now moving towards the rhetoric of the story, the author has used a personification over here. In the story, the writer represents death as a human and a woman. At the end of the story, we can find the merchant made a conversation with the death, trying to convince the death not to take his servant with her. That means the death who is already having an appointment in Samarra with the servant, and the merchant is trying to convince the death not to go to have an appointment with the servant in Samarra. In the story, death is a lifeless idea, but it is represented as a human being. So it is a cause of personification over here. In this chapter, an alliteration is also used. The consonant sound t in the words trembling and tells, and the sound of sir in short and surprise are getting repeated in the two times in the story. So it is also a cause of alliteration. Irony is also used. That means the servant is meeting the death at Baghdad. Then he lends a horse and he is fleeing to Samarra, so that he thinks that he will get escape from death. But he doesn't know that he's already got an appointment with the death in Samarra. So the situation over here is actually means opposite to its surface meaning. So that causes an irony over here. A symbol is being used over here, that is the woman refers to death. So it causes simple in this story. So this is all about appointment in Samarra. Thank you.